to get myself right up on out of here. I feel like a disgrace, I'm not really what I appear. I go home to my girl and I make nicey nice. The fact that she don't know that I just put someone on. I don't like being here. I constantly live in fear. Could be gone at any time. When you live a life of crime, you have to face the music and do the time. I'm trapped again, and fate as always hasn't wrapped again. I always get caught in my life of sin, but I just keep on going back again. You know I'm lost again, when all I wanted was to find a friend, someone that I can always depend on to help me find my life again. You know I'm trapped again. Welcome everyone to Tracking a Mandalorian, presented by Mayhem Media and JDEDESIGNz. I am your host, JD, alongside our graphic artist and producer and senior Star Wars correspondent, Robby H.
What's going on?
Marcus Frederiksen played us in, as he plays us in and out of every episode. Check him out, reverbnation.com/Marcus Frederiksen. And share out his music using the hashtag #NormalizeTheGood, and check out his apparel line that his sister started for him on Facebook, The Humankind. And visit our storefront, bonfire.com/store/JDEDESIGNz. That's with a Z at the end of it. So make sure you spell that right. And of course, our links are available in the description of the videos. Pick yourself up some Mayhem Media apparel. I don't have one myself yet. We just launched it, and I haven't had a chance to get myself one yet, but I will have one soon. So make sure you check that out and pick that up. Robby, this is episode 6, if I'm not mistaken, of the Mandalorian, episode season 3. And it was definitely a different paced episode, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was kind of anticlimactic, in my opinion, compared to what we've had so far. I mean, we had some good scenes and everything, but I was expecting a little bit more out of this episode from where we left off of the last
one. Yeah, it definitely had a little bit of a different pace. But the story was good. I kind of liked where it was going. I mean, not everyone can have, the exciting, battle with the underwater sea monster or the flying pterodactyl. You know what I mean? Not every episode is going to have that.
Right. I'm not speaking only of that. The seriousness of the latest episodes that we've gotten, I don't know. This episode seemed kind of cartoony to me. But it might be because they brought back the battle droids and all the stuff that I didn't care for in the prequels.
Yeah, that rated up there on the weird shit-o-meter for me. For sure. The whole droid bar was weird. All of a sudden droids are, they have personalities and they have their own wants and feelings and their own desires now. And I'm like, this is weird. This should have been
on the boiling point then.
Yeah, you're a little bit. The Boiling Point podcast, our sister show, they take care of politics and everything else. So check out my my other show. But yeah, it just
we started off the episode with them going to the planet.
Oh yeah, I wrote that down.
What is it?
Plaisir 15, I think, or Plaisir 15. Right. I'm not sure of the pronunciation, but PLAZIR-15. That's the planet name. It's
and we meet up with Jack Black.
Yeah, how about that?
Lizzo.
And Lizzo, who I don't know who she is. Robby H knows who she is. I have no idea who she is. No idea whatsoever. But Jack Black, I know. And yeah, seeing him, at first I looked at him and I was like,
that's Jack Black. And then when I saw him again, I'm like, that's definitely Jack Black. And he seems like the right kind of character for him. You know, I don't know if we'll see him in any future episodes. It seems to me like a one-off. You know what I mean? Like the Mandalorian is visiting a lot of different planets. The Mandalorian they seem to be using to open up more of the universe.
Right. So they are opening up new universes. They're trying to string along some content. So we already have one spinoff of the Mandalorian.
Yep. The book of
which
Boba
is
Fett.
the Book of Boba Fett.
And from what I've seen of that so far, it's a great series. Like it's not a bad series. So
It's not, and it's a different series. It's not like you're watching the same show twice.
yeah, absolutely. But it's all part of the universe. That's what they're doing here. They're actually doing what they did with Marvel, and they're creating a universe. They're trying to create a whole universe without the movies. You can't always rely on the movies.
Right, and which I think is pretty cool. Now you have the Ashoka TV series going to be coming out with Rosario Dawson.
Yep. Who played
and they've already talked about, I saw right before I jumped online, I forgot to mention to you, they're supposed to be coming out with a few more movies starring Ridley Scott. I think that was her name.
Oh, I can't remember her name.
Ridley, I don't know.
But yeah, with what's her name from the last three movies? Rey from the Jedi Master. I guess she's a Jedi Master now. I'm a little behind on the movies.
So we're going to be getting us a lot of Star Wars content soon, other than our series. Which, to tell you the truth, I like the storytelling with the series because it doesn't feel rushed.
Yes.
Sometimes the movies seemed a little rushed. And
listen, I'm not a fan of any of the 789. Daisy Ridley is her name then.
Yes, that's what it is.
Daisy Ridley. And I think she's great. I think that's about the best thing the movies had going for them was the addition of her. I like her. I don't really like much else of the movies, but I like her. And I got a phone ringing next to me. Sorry about that. But that's all right. So hopefully I might have to just cut that part out actually. So just because it's playing Hotel California.
All right, let's start it off as where we first bring up the new Star Wars movies coming up. Will that work for you? Because I got her name wrong anyway, and I didn't. So
well, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, let's start back. All right, so I'll count us in. 3, 2. Okay, Daisy Ridley is the name of Rey. That's who plays Rey, the name of the actress who plays Rey. And we're going to talk about the movies now. 7, 8, and 9 is what you're talking about. Is what we're moving into. And so go ahead.
So they're talking about 3 more movies starring her.
Yeah.
Coming out pretty soon. So we're going to get a little bit more Star Wars content.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of 7, 8, and 9. Really, I didn't really think, except for her. She was the only thing that I enjoyed seeing.
I liked the first one, The Force Awakens. But after that, I really wasn't a fan. I didn't like how they did Luke. I don't like how they rushed the story.
And it's way off the books. I mean, I'm a fan of the books. I know I've read some of the books that take place after Episode 6, the movie Episode 6. So I know how the universe was supposed to unfold. And I don't like what they did. They messed up a lot of stuff in 7, 8, and 9. And, there's always ways that you could try and fix some of that. But I'm not a fan of 7, 8, and 9. I think the independent movies like Rogue One and Solo, those have been excellent.
Rogue One is probably my favorite one that's came out movie-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Rogue One was, that's definitely, they should have went with that kind of a storytelling with 7, 8, and 9. I'm just not a fan of what they did with 7, 8, and 9.
I mean, yeah, I understand where they were trying to go. They're trying to do the whole Emperor is back type deal, and they did that in the books. But
Yeah.
the way around it, I thought it was kind of
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
out
not a
there.
fan. And the kids, they messed up a lot of the stuff with kids, with Luke and with Leia. Their kids are very important for the next generation of the Jedi and stuff. So I'm not really happy with that, but you know, it is what it is now. So
Well, I feel like we just got the same story of Luke Skywalker over again, but in the female's perspective,
yeah,
and that's what kind of bothered me. But going back to the show,
yeah. Which they're doing better with their shows. That's why I brought up the movies, because
right,
some of their movies have not been very good. But so far their series have been excellent.
right, and I prefer it over the movies any day.
A lot of people are. A lot of people are getting off movies. The kind of TV series that Disney is shooting with Marvel and Star Wars is the way it's going now. The Yellowstone series is very similar to that kind of, like, a movie's not good. A series can be as long as you need it to be.
Well, you can add so much content into a series. They're planning on doing a Harry Potter series pretty soon. Everybody's been talking about.
That
I'm
doesn't.
not a fan, but
No.
still, I think it's cool because you can actually get the content from the books, add some stuff to it, and make it where it's not rushed. I think that's our biggest problems with movies right now, based off of anything, is being rushed.
Or even TV series.
Well,
Them rushing them. I mean, Game of Thrones is a good example of that. They rushed the entire last season. They were so far off the books, and then they rushed the last season, and it's pretty much split down the middle. You either loved it or you hated it. I thought it was a good ending. I know it was rushed. We didn't get everything we wanted, but it was still a pretty good ending.
right.
The Mandalorian, the thing with that is they're not giving us ending. Like, yeah, the season finale has a cliffhanger or whatever, you know. They make it a big episode, but there's going to be another season. Until the series is over, we're not going to get that kind of an ending.
And I hope we keep Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. I hope they keep him in the lore somewhere.
Yeah, I can see him being in a movie or two at some point in time, even just for a few minutes. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Disney's doing. They're really making this universe. I think we're going to see a lot of cross interweaving of not just the TV shows, but the movies.
Right.
Because Disney's doing the same thing right now with Marvel, where they're taking some of their TV series, they did it backwards. They're taking their movie stars and started doing series. But now that they got the Netflix stuff, we just saw Daredevil in one of those. So I think they're doing a great job at opening this universe and making it so that we could see anybody at any time in any of the series.
Right. So they get to the planet, and they're in this planet. They're not able to have weapons due to a treaty in the city and stuff. So even their constables, the police,
Yeah,
they do not have blasters, anything.
and they go to this planet. I don't know if we mentioned this, but they go to this planet. Din Djarin and Bo-Katan go to this planet because there's a garrison. That's where the fleet is, the Mandalorian fleet.
Right. Her former fleet, where she lost. And so to be able to go talk to the leader of the new fleet, the I don't know what you want to call her, the queen or whatever, which Lizzo plays.
Yeah, I think she was a princess actually, but yeah.
Right. So Lizzo and Jack Black, which is her beloved.
Yeah, Captain Bombardier, I believe is his name.
Right.
Yes,
He's a former Empire
yeah.
person.
See, we could see him again too, just from that. I mean,
right. So they're trying to find out what's happening with the droids. The droids pretty much have it's supposed to be set up to be kind of like iRobot. We can't harm nobody, all this stuff.
And we don't know how that works, but
right. So it's always the robot's going to malfunction or something within that means.
And that's where the weird stuff comes into play. You know, there's a droid bar that they visit. And now all of a sudden these droids, as we said before, have feelings and stuff and wants and desires. That's weird.
Well, they seem more aware. They're not just there. Right. Where they used to be tools, now they're self-aware. And it's
that's
weird. So for me, the whole chase between Mando and Bo and the super battle droid.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of weird. I mean,
yeah, it was.
You're seeing this battle droid run like he's a fugitive.
Yeah.
And from watching the prequels, I mean, this thing could have took both of them out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just came from him jumping on top of it, and she shot its shoulder twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's out of commission.
Yeah.
So the episode was basically, to me, it was anticlimactic. They find out what's going on with the droid, and the droids are actually. Go ahead.
I'm not really sure what. I mean, there's something going on with droids that they're trying to introduce into the universe. But yeah, it seemed like another one of those episodes where, hey, this is a thread for the universe, but not necessarily for the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian just happens to come across this. This is a task that the Mandalorian happens to need to do in order to reach the fleet.
Right.
Because as soon as they arrive, they're escorted right to the princess and Jack Black, Captain Bombardier. They don't even get a chance to go to the other Mandalorians.
Exactly. So,
and I agree. It was that episode. Like I said, it felt off a little bit. Like it wasn't about their story. It was like, oh, now there's another story,
right,
being brought in.
And I believe it could be them trying to bring back the droids. I mean, the way that I felt from watching the prequels up to what we call 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
All right. So I always assumed that the battle droids were like destroyed. All of them were like, you know. So this planet's got tons of them. They're using them as hard laborers. And supposedly they've been programmed for that reason.
Yeah.
And then we meet Christopher Lloyd's character.
Yeah. I got his name. Hold on. It's Commissioner Hellgate. Fantastic character name for Christopher Lloyd. That's just fantastic.
So I had to look at Christopher Lloyd twice. I was like, is that him? And when he started speaking, I knew exactly who it was.
Yep.
But yeah, he was the bad guy.
Yeah, and he was some comedic relief too. He was very amusing in the episode.
He was. And so yeah, I mean, he basically betrayed the princess and Jack Black and got arrested for it. He said, I'm sorry, he didn't mean to, but
yeah,
I mean, it is what it
is. Like you said, kind of anticlimactic.
Right. And they're pretty much like, okay, well, we're going to let you make it up to us one day.
There is one other point I wanted to mention. How about when they're playing that game with the ball?
Right.
And then Grogu is using the Force.
Using the Force.
Yeah. That's he's going to keep doing it. That's what I'm saying. Just because he's not doing his Jedi training doesn't mean those skills are going to go away. As long as he's practicing, he'll be able to do some stuff. What I'm hoping. I'm sorry, hold on. Before you continue on, I don't interrupt you again, because that is a point. Did I see, you can correct me if I'm wrong, did I see Bo-Katan, did she use the Force to...
See, I saw that too, and I couldn't tell if she used the Force or if that was her using the string, the
like the little rope that they have. Yeah.
Right. That's what I was thinking. It was the rope. But I'd have to watch it closely and maybe bring it up in the next one.
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to have to revisit that, because when I watched it, I said, whoa, did she just use the Force to grab that?
That's what it kind of looked like, but I got to look at it again. But she is well trained with the what is it called? The dark saber?
Yeah, the dark saber. Yeah. So
all right.
Yeah.
So it could be something that has to do with it. She may be Force sensitive.
Yeah, I was just about to say that because she seems to, there seems to be more than just that dark saber rules the Mandalorians. It seems like she has more of a connection to that sword than just that. It seems like to me.
Yes.
So that's what caught my attention, because I had thought, I'm like, there's just something else about her. And then when I saw her maybe use the Force, I was like, whoa, did she use the Force?
What I'm hoping for is eventually to get away from the Mandalorian, for like the Mandalorian to finally finish and have it to where Grogu is a bounty hunter. He's a Mandalorian. And with all the technologies that the Mandalorian uses, which is actually very low tech compared to what people use in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Think about using all that cool shit. Like you got the jet pack, got the flamethrower, then all of a sudden he just throws out a force punch from hell right in the throat. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that would be badass. Even
Yeah,
if he's not as powerful as he could be.
But he could still be powerful enough that he could do some Jedi stuff. Yeah.
Right. So I think that would be cool, and I believe they're going to go that route eventually.
Good thing we're not live.
I'm telling you, it's all good.
If I could reach it, I would just grab it.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm gonna see if I can grab it quick.
All right, bud.
Good thing we're not live, man. I'll tell you. I got a live episode tonight, so I'm gonna have to make sure. Maybe
That's why I was kind of excited about getting off when I did, because I was like, we're gonna be able to do this.
Yeah, I can't reach it. That's all right. We don't have that much longer to go, so except it's just gonna make more editing for me is all.
Yeah. I apologize, bud.
It's not your fault. You didn't.
I know, but still.
You leave the phone there.
I feel like I'm putting us out of whack doing it this early, but like I said, I don't know what time I'd get back tomorrow.
Yeah, that's all good. I can adjust to people's schedules. It's not that big an issue. All right, I'll count us back in. What were we talking about?
Last thing we talked about is seeing if Grogu, like we were going to eventually see that
Grogu's gonna have his own show. Yeah,
right.
So that's what I'll start off with my comments about that. Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say anyway. Okay. 3, 2. Yeah, I think they're definitely leading into Grogu getting his own show eventually. I think it.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be a show or if they're just going to fast forward
to a movie.
Years.
Maybe?
No, I'm just saying fast forward years where he's grown, because the name of the series isn't called Din Djarin. It's called The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So what Mandalorian are we talking about? Are we talking about Din Djarin? Are we talking about Bo? Or are we talking about Grogu?
I think that's why we're getting like a little bit of every story. I think like you just said, we're getting the Armorer, we're getting some other Mandalorian story. Like it's about all of the Mandalorians, not just
right.
But I could see him getting his own spinoff, Grogu getting his own spinoff.
Right. And I mean, one thing I do like about it is Din Djarin is kind of playing second fiddle to Bo right now. I mean, he's actually not getting the speaking lines. He's not getting a lot of the action that you would suspect, because he's supposed to be the star of the show.
Yeah.
She is. So that's what kind of puts me into this, what Mandalorian, naming through the show, The Mandalorian, are we talking about? So we see her, she goes to her old fleet, and she challenges the leader of the fleet to a battle to see who's going to be the leader.
Yeah.
And one of the cool parts is Din Djarin has the dark saber. He won it against her in battle. So dude's like, you don't even qualify, you know? And Din Djarin mentions that she saved him by battling a creature that defeated him, so she should have it. So he gives it back to her, and the battle commences. Yeah. And it was a good battle. I enjoyed the battle. I like how they're putting so much money towards these shows that it doesn't seem like when we were little, Mortal Kombat. When we watched the movies, you had that. Then you had the TV series, was basically Hercules.
Yeah.
All right. So it's not dumbed down like that. So you're actually still getting the flying from the jetpack. You're still getting all the gadgets and all that stuff. And I think it's badass.
Yeah. Yeah. They're putting movie production quality into their TV shows. Yeah.
Exactly. So she defeats him, and she has the fleet.
Yeah, she has the sword, and they all kind of, that's how we end that episode, with her kind of standing in front of those Mandalorians. So she's at least going to bring back the fleet now. That's one group. I don't know if there's going to be other groups, but at least.
Well, I believe it is because they're saying the other tribes.
Yeah.
They didn't say the other tribe, but so I believe it's going to be more, and I believe that we're so used to the tribe where the armorer is, so we believe that's the be all tribe. That's the way that the Mandalorians should be because that's the way we were taught.
Yeah.
All right. So I kind of wonder sometimes about Jango Fett. Was he a Mandalorian or did he just have the armor? Because I keep on being told he wasn't a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But the Mandalorians through the tribe that the armor is in does not consider if you didn't wear the helmet and stuff that you're a Mandalorian anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a question. We'll have to look that up and maybe talk about that in the next episode if Boba Fett or Jango Fett was an actual Mandalorian or not. We'll have to try and look that up and see. But overall, definitely a different tone of episode. We got some, like you said, like another weird thread in there that maybe that will develop into something. They're doing that a lot, but yeah, we didn't really get any Mandalorian story until the end.
Right. Which to me was disappointing.
Yeah.
I kind of got hooked on the Mandalorian story, but I also got kind of hooked on the Empire chick.
Yeah, yeah.
From the last few episodes. So I was
too,
I was kind of like hoping to see something on that, and nothing
until next season. Yeah, that'll probably be.
I was hoping to see something on where Moff Gideon.
Yeah. That's another one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Another thread,
so I mean, we have a lot going on, but it's still so much they're not revealing.
Yeah, but I think that's by design, like you said. I think it's the Mandalorian. That's what it's going to be about. These other threads are just building the universe. There's still other things happening in the universe besides just the Mandalorian.
Exactly.
So this was episode. What episode was it? 6.
Something like that. I think.
Yeah,
so.
I think it was episode 6 of the Mandalorian season 3. This is our 4th episode of Tracking the Mandalorian, and we will be back next week to follow the next episode. We're interested to see where it's going to be going. Check us out. We're on Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook. Just search Mayhem Media, and you can find these shows. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please share it out. It all helps with the algorithm so we can continue to grow this show. And if you like it, leave us a comment. We'll talk about it in a future episode. For graphic artist and senior Star Wars correspondent Robby H, I'm your host, JD. This is the way.
This is the way.